Hello friends! My name is Brooke, and this is Brooke Beams Big, where I share my expressions of joy. Today is October 19th, which means there are 13 days left of spooky season, and I intend to take complete advantage of them. That means that this is the beginning of another round of the Sapphic Spooktacular, a seasonal series here on my channel where I read and share spooky Sapphic stories. Now is the time to talk about Sapphic cannibalism. My TBR for this first vlog is Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson and Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. I'm going to be starting with Bloom, which I found out about from a random Instagram reel by Kayla Keys at Where Is My Library Card. Kayla provided just enough information to get me intrigued, and when I looked into this book and found out that it is a sapphic romance with cottagecore cannibalism, I knew it had to be on my 2024 spooky season TBR. My local library system did not have this book, but luckily a neighboring library system that I have reciprocal borrowing privileges did, so I went and picked it up, and I am so excited to start it tonight. It's now Thursday evening, October 24th, so it has been a few days, and I am on page 151 of Bloom. I'm enjoying this book. I'm really liking the writing style and unique voice. This book is written in third-person present tense, so it's like reading a horror movie because it feels both immediate and zoomed out, like we're watching Roe. I also really appreciate the depiction of discovering that you are attracted to women as a woman in your mid-20s. There is a certain line of self-reflection and self-comparison that goes along with that discovery, and I think this book does an amazing job at depicting that very truthfully. And the one thing that I really wanted to talk about before I dive into the end of this book is how knowing a book is going to end badly affects the reading experience. Because for the first 3/4 of this book, it has come off as a very cute sapphic romance. But knowing that something bad is going to happen adds a certain layer of delicious expectation that makes the breadcrumbs that Delilah Dawson has left for us really pop. And it's just small things like Ash, the love interest, saying that men aren't to her taste. Because when you know that you're going to find out that Ash is a cannibal, statements like that have a whole nother layer. And finding those layers, peeling them out, makes the reading experience very fun for me. And I think I am on the cusp of shit hitting the fan. So I am going to sit right here in this chair this evening and finish the end of this book. See you soon. It's Monday night, October 28th, and I am in a bowling alley parking lot. I finished Bloom the other night, like I said I was going to, and this ending is haunting me. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night to think about it some more, haunting me. It is wickedly good in a way that brings together all of the elements I talked about before into a perfect package. All of the breadcrumbs paid off. People are talking. All of the breadcrumbs paid off. There is an amazing analysis of gender dynamics in this specific type of relationship, in a sapphic relationship, in a horror setting, and that last chapter was a masterpiece. Now I'm excited to start Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which I learned about from Gavin over at Gavin Reads It All, who has done a collaborative reading vlog about it. This one is another romance horror romantasy following a shape-shifting monster who falls in love with a human woman and has to learn that human relationships do not involve laying eggs in the other person, which will hatch offspring who will then consume them alive. Sounds spooktacularly scrumptious. Happy Halloween! I am on page 124 of Someone You Can Build a Nest In, and I am really liking it. Shin, the main character, has a very unique perspective. She is both brutal and very practical because she is a predator. She is a monster. She hunts and eats people to survive. But she is also falling in love with the person, and having those two conflicting thought processes throughout this book so far is very interesting and very complex and very enjoyable to read. It's about 3:30 right now. My hope, my dream, my wish, my prayer is that I could finish this book by the end of tonight and round this vlog out very nicely. However, it is also the last day before Novel Blur, that's what I'm calling it, starts, where I'm going to be drafting a new book, and my planning has been almost non-existent so far, in that I have written nothing down and everything is being classed in my mind like water in cupped hands that I'm trying not to spill everywhere. So I definitely need to take some time to work on that and get myself prepared to start writing something at midnight. I also should do some schoolwork. So we will see how finishing this by the end of October, by the technical end of spooky season, goes. It did not go according to plan. Today is December 23rd, so hey, long time no see. I did not finish Someone You Can Build a Nest In on Halloween. I made it to page 180, and then I did not pick up this book for weeks. Not because it isn't terrific, but just because my reading has been very stop and start this year due to life. However, I did ultimately manage to finish Someone You Can Build a Nest In, and I really enjoyed it. Something I forgot to mention last time we spoke about this book is that it obviously uses monstrosity as a metaphor for disability. John Wiswell's author biography does say that he is a disabled writer, and although I do not know the particulars of his disability personally, I felt there was a lot of commentary on neurodivergence and masking. Shin, as a monster, as someone who is viewed as a monster by humans, struggles to understand human behavior, human customs, human thoughts and feelings, and she uses her shape-shifting to fit in with humans so that people will not recognize her as a monster. She pulls this off through observation and through literally using parts of other people. And if that is not symbolic of masking and hiding the way you actually are, the actual way your brain works. I don't know what is. Of course, this is not a new concept, a new idea, but this book pulls it off really well, in my opinion. I don't have that much more to share about this book in particular. I don't think it would be exactly fair because I took such a long reading break in the middle, and it has been a while since I finished it. However, I did finally watch the video Gavin did with Katie and Gabby on this book, and it actually made me excited to reread it. This book is an amalgamation of genres. It's romance, it's fantasy, it's horror. However, Gavin, Katie, and Gabby really emphasized the cozy element of it, and I wasn't thinking about that when I was reading it. But now I'm really excited to reread it with that lens because it definitely has cozy vibes. Like, she has a pet bear who is blue. That's very cute, very cozy. I've been wanting to read more cozy fantasy because that's the genre that I am currently writing. I am also very interested in how one can successfully mix dark things with cozy things. So I really want to take the time to study this book on a reread. I need to get my own copy. This is a library copy that desperately needs to be returned. And I just bought this book for my best friend for Christmas. So maybe when she gets around to reading it, I will pick up my own copy and reread it with her as like a fun incentive, whenever that will be. I know you're watching this, Liz. This has been my installment of the Sapphic Spooktacular for 2024. Thanks for spending this time with me, sending you off with love. Goodbye!